In 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Saturday night. I'm going to be off camera tonight. I'm told by John that everybody wins when that happens. So, screw you, John. But anyway, so let me bring on my co hosts. I'm going to start with this guy.
If it's no Scottish, just clap!
Now, you see, John might have gotten on next if it wasn't for the fact that he insulted you just a minute ago. See how that works? It's great, isn't it? Hello.
Everybody. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Well, as long as you're on, we got the sex appeal, so there you go.
Well, you know.
There you go.
Well,
there you go.
it's a burden, but, you just have to deal with it.
Yeah, seriously, it's a burden. It's a burden. All right, so we got one other guy we're going to bring on. It's this guy here.
Truly exceptional. And he had one thing you haven't got.
What's that, sir?
A great big bushy beard. Come on.
Yeah, honey, his camera's not on. You could turn on you could watch it. The camera's not on. You won't see that horrible face. Hey, what's up? How you doing? This is John from John Florida. How's it going?
Well, screw you again, John. But yeah, welcome to the show. Anyway,
Hi, John. Bye, John.
wow, we are starting early. We started early tonight. Oh wow. Anyway, I
would have just put out the conspiracy that the camera's not on and it's a full moon. You draw your own conclusions.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, okay. Well, I guess I got to at least, we'll keep it on until I start, until the computer starts dying. Okay, till we get too far back. All right. Yeah.
Can't hear you.
Can't. Okay. See, told you. Anyway. See, I told you. I have to be on camera.
We're doing really well. Between your dying computer and my dying computer, it's a wonder anything works.
Yeah, I'm serious. Anyway. Yeah, but I was...
Mine's gonna die any day now. It's over. My computers seem to last about 5 years, and I think I'm on 7 with this.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Has anybody got any working tech around here? Come on.
Well, I don't know. Wookie and Abby might, except they're not here anyway.
No!
So, anybody get an excuse from Abby tonight? Did he mail in his usual excuse, or
was he not out of town or something? I don't know.
Oh, he's out of town. That's right. Okay, that's All right, that's the.
I remember
excuse
Wookie. I remember
du jour.
Wookie said something about him being out of town.
Right. That's right. Wookie's actually doing like housework or something. So
It could be.
yeah, and I think his wife has him doing chores or something.
Possibly.
Anyway,
Possibly.
so yeah.
Well, you know, he's
yeah,
not
brings
here,
the-
so he's not here. So tradition dictates we take the piss out of him. So
Right.
Oh
well,
yeah.
at every opportunity.
definitely.
So.
Every opportunity, we do our best to slag off on both of them. So
Slag
That's what
off.
it is.
Nice. You're using the UK words. I like it. That's
I'm learning.
how we call it. It's slag off. Yeah.
learning.
My favorite UK expression is Allahu Akbar.
No.
You
Ah,
notice how that's a perfectly British word. Of course.
yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, it's heard a lot these days. Heard a lot. These
Yeah.
days.
Oddly enough, yeah.
Okay, before John gets us in trouble.
Here come the copyright strikes.
Well,
Oh,
I'm kind of
sorry.
hoping. I was kind of hoping that Tony Grigio would show up because this was his topic. It was his idea.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll do a good job. Now, unfortunately, all of my video clips bounced off of the StreamYards tonight. Not sure how a 3-minute clip can be over 200 megabytes, but I'm it is what it is.
Was it in Ultra HD or something?
I don't think so. They sure took a long time to. I just thought it was because my computer's dying, but maybe not. Anyway,
I'm sure I could play them for you if you want to share.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. You got something? You at the stage here?
No, I'm your links. I'll play them and share them.
Oh, okay.
Whenever you're ready, I'll just go down the list of the links that you provided.
Well, the links I sent were longer than would be useful to be played.
Oh, so you clip them? Oh, I see.
I cut them
just
down.
thought this is 16 minutes. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of them out there though. That you can look up. Nazca lines is a pretty common topic.
Yeah.
So what do you guys what do you guys know about the Nazca lines?
Not much. I mean, I saw some shorts today and a video today about them. Quite interesting. You know, all the different sort of pictures and animals and wavy lines and some of the stuff that's in the hills, which is from something else, a different tribe, I think, if I remember correctly. A previous.
Right.
That was quite interesting. The theory that it's maybe signaling to the gods or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Well, yeah, it's a pre-Columbian tribe. It's dates before the Incas. The Nazca are they're kind of known for pottery. They're known for some of the most complicated textiles available out there. We've got a few. Got not Brian. Hey. Got hey y'all. Hope you're having a blessed day. Hey Zach Dan. And,
Hi, Brian.
Jessica Imaze, I guess. 739, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I'm here to listen to
Hello, everybody.
classic crazy cryptic conspiracies. Oh. Well, thank you, old dirty fatty.
Well,
Testing my
we'll certainly
my,
try.
diction. But anyway. Well, okay, so basically the whole entire thing is the whole entire premise is that in this desert valley outside of Nazca in Peru happens to be a lot of shallow trenches. For years and years and years, people thought they were unremarkable, but then somebody happened to fly over them once airplanes were invented. And they discovered that all these shallow trenches actually created pictures.
Yeah.
And
You
so,
can share, I have a picture that you can share so people can see what we're talking about.
absolutely, good idea. Yep, that's the hummingbird right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, there's a lot of birds. A lot of birds. The Nazca were
Mhm.
into their birds. On
Yeah,
their pottery,
they
on their
were.
pottery and stuff as well.
They were also into decapitated humans. That some of those.
That is not so good. Yeah.
No, not so good. That was in their pottery. It was in some of these. They're called geo something other.
I know what you're on about. I forgot the term
Yep,
myself.
anyway.
Geolith,
All right.
geoliths.
Geoglyphs. Yeah,
Geoglyphs,
geoglyphs.
that's the one,
That's
that's the
it.
one.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you. Hell, RJ, what's up? Good to see you.
All right, RJ.
Well, okay. So somebody's flying over in a plane, and he discovers that all these shallow trenches, in the sand of that Nazca Desert, had to actually formed shapes that were definitely not nature,
No.
based on nature, and hard to explain these. Yep, exactly. And so, okay, some of these are miles and miles wide.
Yeah.
Like some of these are massive. This hummingbird one is quite long. It's I think about 2.5 miles long or something like that. And so the premise is that you have a supposedly pre-Columbian tribe with their lack of technology.
Yeah, it's
Who-
over 2,000 years old. Some of them.
Yeah,
something,
some of them.
something like that. Yeah, over 2,000
Well,
years.
They carbon dated a steak, and so like a wood steak, not meat steak, but STAKE. And they discovered that they said the steak was about 2,000 years old. So they that's why they dated them back that far. They said it's anywhere between 500 BC to 500 AD. I'm not going to use their new naming, new naming bullcrap. But anyway, so that's about 1,000-year window where these could have been created, and so that's the premise.
Mhm.
So it's ancient technology, geoglyphs. Hi, anyone lurking? Yep, there you go, Cam. But
Oh, there, come.
But these were created by the soil has an underlayer that's dark, and the top top soil is actually dark, and then you scrape underneath, it's like a yellow undersoil.
Right.
And so what this is formed by somebody taking the upper layer off and revealing the lighter color underneath, and that's how this has been created. But so
And it's the dry climate,
yeah,
just left it. So they removed like layers of dirt, pebbles, and rocks, and then it was
Yep.
preserved by the dry climate and stayed there.
Right.
Yeah.
So evidently climate change didn't affect this particular part of the world for several thousand years here. Am I allowed to say that? Am I allowed to say that? Yeah, maybe that's something. Anyway, all right. Come on, guys, pick up. I'm dropping stuff to allow you to. You're not going with it anyway. Making dinner ready for
I'm sorry,
familiar with
Nazca. It's been a bit choppy. That's why I haven't said nothing.
Oh, okay, okay.
Well, on my end anyway. I don't know.
Oh, you've been fine
Don't know
over
about
here.
John, but
Okay, so it could be Cruel's dying computer. Anyway, we got dying computers here, man.
I forgot what I was going to say now. But no,
Mm-hmm.
I changed the.
they reckon that they did the stakes and tied off bits as they went along when they were carving the shapes out of it, so that it kept them right. And the one on the hill there, since that picture's come up, I think was possibly from a tribe that was before the Nazca. I think it was the Paracas or something.
Paracas,
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was quite an interesting sort of thing, because they're obviously on the hill, so it's on an angle. It's not completely flat, so
Right.
easier to see.
Yeah, one of the early theories was they all led to a water source.
Mhm.
You know, so maybe they just were like shallow irrigations to bring just water and irrigate. You know, maybe 2,000 years ago it was different, but this one, like you said, it's on an angle. It's on the side of a hill, mountain, whatever you want to call it. So this one would have been not. So I don't know. You know, I always try to think of a practical reason for anything first, but like,
Yeah.
there's nothing practical about this. This is just art.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, the first published mention of the Nazca lines was by conquistador Pedro Ciaza de Leon in a 1553 book where he described them as trail markers. And then in 1969, Louis Mazon reported having seen ancient ruins in Peru, including the remains of roads. So they thought they were roads.
Yeah.
The lines are partially visible for nearby hills. The first to report them in the 20th century were Peruvian military civilian pilots in 1927. And so Peruvian archaeologist Turibo, I can't say this name. Why do they spell stuff with X's? Goodness gracious. Giuseppe, maybe? I don't know. Spotted them while he was hiking through the foothills. He discussed them in a conference in Lima. But Paul Cossack is created as the first scholar to study the lines while he was in Peru in 40 to 41, study ancient irrigation systems. He flew over the lines, realized that one was in shape of a bird. Other chance observation helped him see how lines converged on the horizon at the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere. So that hey, there you go. People like art. Leaders like to impress people. Hey, no, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay. So the problem, I think the problem here is art, for the sake of art, is to be like viewed. You can't
Oh, you
really.
think so?
Yeah, you don't really create art unless there's somebody to see it.
Well, that's just it. Maybe it was art for their gods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably. That's what a lot of people think that. Yeah.
Yeah, that it was a religious significance. You know.
Right.
Well, I'm not sure.
Right.
I mean, who would they pray to? I mean, that's the thing. Probably.
Yeah.
Who would be their deities that would worship? I don't know.
What does anybody offhand? Does anybody know what, like? Because this is Peru, so this would be the Inca, right? Nearest.
These people evidently predate the Incas.
Yes, they predate. And the Incas we know about. You know, their mythologies, and they had like kind of like Egyptian, like anthropomorphic animal. So maybe this is pre that. You know,
right.
Just like Etruscan gods predated the Roman gods and.
Well, the Incas were also living in large ruins of an earlier civilization when the Spanish conquerors came upon them. And they also had like a lot of wealth that it's just what drew the Spanish to them was the wealth.
Well,
but the Incas seem to be like settling in the remains of another civilization, and so people are thinking that the Incas were kind of like latecomers to this whole entire thing.
One of the other possibilities was some sort of astrological sort of significance as well, like it was maybe a mapping of the stars or something like that. I don't know.
Constellations.
Constellations, yeah.
Well, they took. I think AI has discovered over 300 more of the
Yeah.
geoglyphs,
Wow.
but they're currently trying to discover if they have a constellation. So AI is currently like mapping the geoglyphs, and they're going to turn them up onto the sky.
I think some of the patterns were a little off, so it's maybe not astrological. I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
but
yeah.
like
Go ahead.
one thing about astrology is the Babylonians came up with the zodiac as we know it.
Yeah.
And they did that like 2000, maybe 2,500 years ago, and the
Right.
Earth is one constellation over.
Mhm.
In that time period, we have shifted in the galaxy, so that the constellations as the Babylonians created it, and the constellations as we know it now, Earth is not in that same spot in 4-dimensional space or 3-dimensional space. So we are all one constellation over. So like, so everything assigned to Sagittarius, I don't even know what is really Capricorn. Everything assigned to Capricorn is, according to, if you use the actual Babylon. So maybe this is the same thing.
That there could have been, yeah.
So old that they don't match up exactly with the time. I don't know. That's just a wild guess. I'm just throwing that out there. I just thought of it now when you said zodiac stuff.
What's actually quite fascinating is the fact that they've never actually been covered up with sand. It's the way they are. It's just that the sand gets blown out of them. It's never swept over them.
Yeah, that is amazing. That the pyramids, the Sphinx, everything else gets buried after a while. What's going on over there that the 2,000 years the geography doesn't change that much?
So not climate change.
Well, there you go.
There you go. I think it's also interesting because you look at the scale of these things, that there's no way that anybody was getting a view of what they were creating while they were creating it.
Right.
I think some of the straight lines, I think there's maybe like about 80 kilometers or something like that.
Yeah, and they're geometrically perfect, which is what they think they use the stakes for. But then you have you ever tried to freehand draw a maze?
No.
Okay. Well, you'll find that when you try to like make a circle and then have something connect, is almost impossible to do it freehand. That's why even experienced artists will. The only person I've ever seen be able to do it was Chip Foose, if you know who that is. But very few people can freehand draw geometric shapes perfectly. And I mean, even the most experienced artists that you will find will use some kind of artificial circle apparatus to.
I mean, the only thing I could think of is they used ropes and made tight, but then they couldn't make ropes that long. So, I'm just for the say so they had 100-yard rope. I'm just making up numbers, and they would have to put down a stake and put another 100-yard rope. Now, it should be like little 100-yard, like a change every 100 yards, and then like a correction back and stuff like that. So I don't know are they super laser straight or are they a little bit, but the only way to make straight lines on this magnitude at the time is maybe I don't know, is a piece of polished mirror and have a reflection light, you know what I mean? And then a lot, there's things people could do, but we're talking about technology. Like the people in Europe and the Middle East were cavemen at the time. So even if they did use these little, what we would consider primitive engineering techniques, is a big freaking deal. And again, I'm of the opinion of I always try to demystify anything first.
Right.
But
geography is like mostly desert floor, but there are some geoglyphs that are up on the hills.
Yeah.
But there's no high point high enough to see the entirety of most of these glyphs. So that's part of the mystery.
Are,
Yeah,
are there
that's
are there nearby mountains that are, they like a foreman could stand on the mountain and shout and give directions, hold up flags, you know what I mean, for like a sign language thing, or is it just plains as far as the eye can see?
Well, I think that the most of them are located in a valley, so that would indicate that there's higher higher elevations around it.
But still, I guess in the people would have noticed, if you know what I mean, if the mountains
Yeah,
were close. Yes, so that kind of answers its own question.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just trying to come up with a nice mundane way of
right.
Yeah, it is. It is one of those things that on the video that I watched, it said these are the kind of things that you would think were made um, by some sort of flying vehicle because of
Yeah.
the precision, and just the way that they're done.
Well, well, I mean, when you look at what the Mayans accomplished, that was another culture that kind of disappeared, you
Yeah, it's
know,
funny that.
off the face of the planet that's in South America. Um, but the stuff that they were doing with calendars and
Yeah,
seasons and things like that, that's we're still trying to catch up to today. So there was like advanced civilizations in the South America regions, in and
we
around.
we keep coming back to that advanced
Yeah,
civilizations that suddenly disappear. That kind of
yeah.
trend is continuing.
Well, I mean, you also have rock walls in South America that you can't even fit a sheet of paper into the cracks. They're so precise and fitted together. Um, and so it's just like there's this whole entire ancient civilization culture that was located in South America specifically. Most of it's third world now, but once upon a time, evidently, it was the height of technology in the whole entire world. It just because the world wasn't that connected, nobody knew existed, I guess.
First world becoming third world. Where have I heard that before?
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
swimming in the shadows has a good cut. Maybe there were hot air balloons around longer than we think. I mean,
Who
I
knows?
never thought of that before, but swimming, now that you put that thought into my mind, like, a hot air balloon, what would it be? It would be like leather or skins with ropes and then a wicker basket. All that stuff wouldn't survive 2,000
Well,
years.
there's specific. There was people, specifically archaeologists, that were looking for signs that there was some kind of high elevator, and hot air balloons was the first thought.
Right.
Also,
There would
gliders.
there would be no evidence of a hot air balloon.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
Well,
I just
there,
wouldn't have
there,
thought
there
so.
isn't like any evidence of one, and you would see it in a fossil record, or you would see like some pictographs somewhere, maybe, if they had like flying capability.
Well,
But oh,
one would think that they would have some sort of record of it somewhere. I don't know,
well,
and
that's
in a glyph, a hieroglyphs,
right.
geoglyph or something. You'd think they would document that somehow
Yeah.
on their pottery, even.
I don't know. Well,
Well, I mean, look at the Tartaria thing that we spoke about. The people they
right.
were supposed to have had flight and stuff like that. Well, if they did, they would have survived. So where are they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the whole Tartaria thing, that was like, pictures should be out there.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, you'd think so. You would think so.
you would think. They just haven't found them yet. Well, the whole thing with Tartaria though was there's so much like speculation and there's so much like stretching of this might be that or this might be that, but with there's not a lot of concrete evidence that Tartaria existed except for one map, like a notification on a map. But in this case, what we're looking at is these massive geoglyphs, that are the largest in the world that we found so far, and yet it really has like no discernible reason for it. So it's well, they one of the
Captain.
videos I was going to play. They have a college professor did use utilizing technology that they speculated was available at that time. He has managed to make some of these pictographs using technology from that time period.
Right.
So that it is possible for them to do this, but the reasoning is they would not have been able to see the results. So why make it?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, on a hill, and on a mountain, you get it.
Yeah.
That can be seen. I mean, heck, we've got a white cow out the road. Just not that far from us. It's a white cow woods.
Right.
It's called. So a stone cow. So it's a little use if you can't see it. So
I mean, look at this. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and the scale of it is immense. Whether or not, even if ruling out space aliens and gods or whatever, I am of the opinion that human beings are pretty clever. You know what I mean? And I'm working on a construction site today, on every day, and I don't even bother to check out the scope of everything, but it's a couple of human beings drawing plans. And that information is, usually there's like one or two architects, and then that information is given to a couple of other experts and then it gets boiled down to the bottom tier guys like me that are just installing stuff. You know what I mean? So like you get a whole empire. Like what do we really know about these pre-Inca people? Well, they obviously were intelligent. Human beings are intelligent. I would say even the dumbest tribesmen 2,000 years ago, they wouldn't have lived long if they weren't able to adapt, hunt. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I humans built it. This is my point. I don't know if I'm jumping the gun and saying this stuff. I know but to me the fascinating thing is why. Yeah. To me, that is the fascinating question. Is like, I don't know if I ruined it, but like,
no,
this is not beyond human endeavors. No. Humans could do this.
Well, it's not beyond human capability to do it, but it's the motive behind it is really the question, I guess. Like this particular one is very befuddling because look at the mirroring of the wings and in the center structure. It's symmetrical, and that kind of coordination would have been because we're looking at square miles that this thing, the size of this thing.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy accurate.
Yeah,
you could see differences, but still, it's amazing.
Yeah,
like you could see that the bottom wing feather is twice the size of the one on the left is twice the size and the claw is a different size. But you can fold it down the middle and almost match. And like I said, the scale of that is insane. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is very, I know that ancient civilizations, we kind of have it in our heads because of the whole evolutionary theory is that humanity was moving from primitive to from a primitive state to a like technologically superior state, and yet we see within our lifetime like cathedrals in Europe, and then you look at the ziggurat that they built for Obama's library, and it's like just in our just we could just see the declination of humanity in just a few years, from the Empire State Building to what the latest towers they're putting up now, and the brutalism, the architecture, the lack of nuance, the lack of features for the sake of features. And this right here could be just indication that mankind has fallen off in intelligence.
Possibly. Yeah, certainly. We've spoken about this many times about how structures these days are certainly looking a lot soulless compared to Victorian times and before and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, most of the look at most of the art throughout human history. You know, we don't know exactly, were the pyramids built for the vanity of a pharaoh, but then the pharaoh was revered as a god. So that art was for the divine. The cathedrals that Cooper just brought up, that was for the design. Look at all of these Renaissance paintings, and these guys were all very religious, and they were aspiring to make work to reflect back on the divinity that they saw. That Obama library, that's not reflecting on any divine, or that is like, I would say it's the opposite. That's there to
banana taped to a board, and you're saying that's not art?
Yeah,
come on now.
But look, from architecture to everything, all of these atheists, and I was a hardcore atheist in my teens and 20s, and it's like, and then somebody just pointed out, somebody put out, somebody really made me think by talking about Stalin and Mao Zedong, and that was like, that set me on like a 10-year reflection. But anyway, and I've come to the conclusion that it's the zealotry, not the religion, that is the problem. You could be a zealot atheist and just whatever. But anyway, that's besides the part. But I'm saying this is not because a bunch of people, like some hippy dippy, smoked some pot or ate some mushrooms and like, man, I want to make some art, man. To me, this is reflecting back to the divine. Like, did they see a bird flying over and they were like, that's a deity?
Mm-hmm.
The spider god, were they plagued by spiders, and this was a way for them to look, we've given you a replication of yourself, save us from these spiders. I don't know, I'm trying to think. This isn't just a bunch of guys, like, because this was organized. This took a whole culture to build, and it took a lot of time. It took people away from farming, from gathering wood or whatever, building shelters. Who knows? This wasn't one guy with a big foot just scraping in the dirt. This was organized. So why? And
I mean, it could just be that it is some kind of record of some of the wildlife that they come across, and some of the wonders that they saw. Maybe.
Well, look at that spider, though. You could fold that spider over, and it's almost going to match.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And and we're talking miles and miles apart. So,
look, there's that Keith Haring dog over there in the right.
Yeah, I see it.
And look at that guy in the left. That does not look like the silhouette of a gray alien. Just to further the conspiracy theories.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's one they call the astronaut.
Right, that's what I just showed.
I heard that. I heard about that. Yeah, the astronaut. Yeah.
That's the one on the side of the hill you showed us. Yeah, that's so.
I mean, Joe Rogan? I think Joe Rogan mentioned that.
Yeah. I didn't click on that Joe Rogan one. I probably should have. But
yeah, it's just a short.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
They all look like words to me.
Well,
they look like the fights.
But the thing about it is, though, is except for the lizard in the corner. Okay. Well, it's like the monkey, the one with the curled tail. That one, I saw that one earlier. That's what I'm talking about. That connecting of the circular lines into a spiral. I mean, if you ever try to hand draw a spiral, I mean, good luck with that. That is a pain in the butt. And yet that's That's got to be like at least a football field wide or
Well,
longer.
one of the videos that I watched had said that one of the birds that there was a picture of had been identified as a pelican or something like that, which wasn't even native to
There it
that
is.
place.
Look at that.
And parrots, there were parrots that were documented that they would have been in some of the jungles roundabout. But that's
Right.
presumably the monkeys as well, I would have thought. So
Yep. Well,
And as far as we know, this culture didn't have the wheel. Like the Incas, the Aztecs, and the Mayans didn't have the wheel. They just used wheels as toys, but they didn't use them for engineering and moving. It makes sense with the Incas because they were in the mountains, and you couldn't really use wheels. But as the Mayans and the Aztecs, why didn't they have a wheel? Yeah, the Polynesian stones, those big Maya statues. I've always been fascinated with them as a kid.
right. Well, yeah, I think honestly, it's like the statues at Easter Island and pyramids. Like there's a ziggurat up there. I think the Incas have ziggurats too.
Yeah,
and so these ancient civilizations, they seem to. I think it's part of us, just assuming that we're like heading towards more intelligence. Maybe there's like a pinnacle of mankind that happened. I think it could be antediluvian. The before the flood.
well, I read somewhere that the Cro-Magnon actually had a larger brain than Homo sapiens.
I've heard that as well. Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, but also think about it. Back then, being stupid was a death sentence.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Nowadays, we got people. It's idiocracy. That's such a stereotype to bring that up. But now we got dumb people just breeding.
Some people get paid to be stupid.
Yeah.
There's no detriment to being dumb.
No, it's not fatal. It's not fatal. As a matter of fact, the people they've discovered that people that have taken that MAID, the self removal, in Canada, for the most part, a lot of them have PhDs. A lot of them are on the more intelligent side of things. It's like people that don't think a lot about the world don't usually have a lot of depression. Have you ever seen a bro get depressed? I mean, so it seems to be like the more intelligent you go, the more likely you are to, be hanging from hanging in the garage or something.
What's that? The burden of intelligence, knowing too much, seeing too much.
Right. There you go.
Just because Cooper and I are into comics, I can't help but look at that. But think of, wouldn't it be interesting to make a Incan Spider-Man with that symbol and the Incan tribal markings? So there you go.
Or Venom.
I think Grant Morrison tried to make like Aztec
he made Aztec the technological warrior. It was an odd comic. Only lasted 11 issues for a reason. Well,
I don't know that calling something Aztec is a good idea, considering what that culture was up to their eyeballs in.
Plus, it was a ripoff of. There was a village. My role-playing game that I play, Village Vigilantes. There was a character called the Aztec that was a technological Aztec, spelt the same before that module. So Grant Morrison, I'm pretty sure you didn't read that module. I'm sure it was.
Well, you know what I feel about the British invasion of comics.
Yes.
I think I've made my feelings clear on that.
And I gotta say, you like always, you give me something to think about.
Yeah. Well, the thing to think about it is I guess the reason why people get drawn to the whole alien explanation is the fact that why does mankind is capable of such wonder back before, by our modern standards, they should have had enough technology to do some of these things. It just is befuddling to, especially with the evolutionary theory, which I think is bunk, in that mankind's like moving from a status of being goo up to evolving into something else, except that it happens nowhere else in nature. But what if we are not evolving? What if we're devolving?
Haven't we discussed that before? Haven't we discussed that before? How we're de-evolving, degenerating as a species?
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about that? I can't remember if we talked about it or if it was backstage or something. But I remember we had a wee discussion about that.
So you say we are not men, we are Devo?
Well, they may have had a point.
Well, you've got a good point there, Time Prophet. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm agreeing with Time Prophet.
Yeah, you're right. No, he's right.
Okay, I'm gonna have to reevaluate what I just said. Then
that was what we were talking about. Essentially, was basically that each generation that's gone on and on has kind of de-evolved. In fact, did you not say that DNA itself is maybe de-evolving or degenerating as well? I'm sure somebody did.
Well, I think that the fact that about 10 years ago, it felt like we're right on the steps of having a cure for cancer. Just like 10 years ago, the cancer wasn't like a death sentence, and now it's back to being a death sentence.
Well, we wouldn't want life-threatening diseases to be cured now, would we?
No, probably not. Here we go. The great geoglyphs of Peru. Yeah, all of them have names. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, the spider's not too hard to come up with a name. The hummingbird.
No. Y chromosome is shrinking. Okay.
The iguana.
Gotcha. I agree with the technology. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say some of these I never saw. The hands. Yeah, that's cool. The whale.
Yeah. The flower. I didn't see that one before. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They discovered like 300 more using AI. That's this Japanese school over there, a college over there. They just like took maps of the Nazca area and then fed it into their AI to look for pattern recognition, and they discovered like 300 more. So there's been people that spent their whole entire lives looking at that desert that didn't see all the pictographs that are there.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's what's that? The mosquito, the one with the long needle.
It's
it's between the monkey and the pelican. What is that?
The heron.
The heron. Oh,
yeah. I was waiting to say there are birds that have long, thin beaks as well, aren't there?
Right. Yeah,
well, that was one of them that that line went way long into a water source. So that's one of the theories that maybe these were irrigation lines, or
Well, I mean, again, they could have just shaped them like animals, of course, just for decorative purposes. Yeah.
Well, oddly enough, Zach Tan, the biggest danger to the geoglyphs are visitors with four-wheel drives. That's the biggest danger to the Nazca lines is bros and their four-wheel drives doing Baja across there.
Didn't some band or
Greenpeace?
Yeah, it was Greenpeace. They filmed the video up there and they actually damaged it.
Yeah. Looks like a pterodactyl. Well, there you go. It means the pterodactyl was around the time of these people. That one is a little. That one's a little strange.
This is one that they missed. This is one that was found by AI.
Oh, right. How did
That's
you
what it
miss
said.
that? That is freaky.
This one, I think they call this one the tantrum.
The tantrum. Oh,
Didn't I beat this? Didn't I beat the shit out of that in Final Fantasy?
well, it looks like it's got. It looks like it's got.
Looks like
dreads.
a jester's hat. It looks like a
Yeah.
jester's hat or something, doesn't it?
Yeah. Looks like it's got dreads.
Yeah.
So-
It's a
That
predator.
looks
There
like a
you go. It's a
wabbit.
youcher.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A wabbit.
It does kind of look like a wabbit. All right. Another agreement. Oh, shit. Look at that. Wow. So, I mean, these things, it's not like, I'd taken some artistic theory, you know, when I went to try to or draw my own comic book. I was like deep into like looking at art books and stuff like that, and some of this is really advanced art theory. I mean, it's the shape language and things like that. Like the one down there with the that looks a lot like what you find in the Pacific Northwest on the totem poles,
Oh yeah.
the way the wings are shaped. I mean, it's pretty.
I did think that. Yeah, some of the totem poles that you see
Yeah,
have got various different carvings of stuff in them. Very similar, I guess, to some of these.
yeah. No idea what a spider's wearing a shoe.
Yeah, only one shoe.
Well, I mean, once again, you come back to the idea of this is all done supposedly by primitive people with
Yeah.
primitive technology and a inability to see from high up, and supposedly they made all these things without the ability to of Overwatch, and so the idea that there was an alien culture that they were trying to please, or gods in the sky that they wanted to communicate with, is it fills a few of the holes in motivation. You know, take of that what you will. What do you think about that?
I think, dismissing these ancient people as primitive is kind of insulting, because these
Yeah.
people were farmers that, they were explorers, they just didn't have all the tools. I mean, if you took me or anybody watching this and teleported them 2,000 years into the past, we would all die in a wheat field.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
these were smart people. And like I said, the dumb people didn't have any safeguards. They either, had to do something that made them worthwhile, or they died, or extremely lucky. So, so when we say primitive, I think the only real fair thing to say is primitive as far as like technology. They didn't have laser guided tools to aid in architecture or medicines, vaccines, but they had the same brain. They had the
Right.
same sense of wonder. They had the same sense of survival, probably the same like family units, like we know who our cousins are. We're going to bond together, because human beings, we are social animals. And I'm sure they had the same like leaders that took advantage of large groups and demagogues.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, why it doesn't amaze me that they did this, that they could.
Right.
Do this. What
Right.
amazes me is, why did they do this? And they did it for a long period of time and used
Yeah.
a lot of resources,
Yeah.
like Egypt. The pyramids to me are less fascinating, because Egypt was a very stable, rich, lot of food environment, so they could afford wasting all those man hours making those. Like, as far like, was the climate different? Like,
Well,
these people.
they were studying an aqueduct that was created by those people to bring water to bring irrigation to parts of that area. And so they were smart enough to create aqueducts.
Yeah, one of
And
the things I saw that they did in some of these very arid regions was they made these long tunnels. So it was like a mound, and it was a tunnel. But it's so just think like a raised maybe 4 or 5 feet high hut.
Yeah.
Okay, but they
Right.
elongated it into a long line, like very long, so that the sun would heat up one portion of it before the other, and humidity would collect and then drip into a little irrigation, and that's how
Yeah.
they got water. Amazing. How did these people think of that stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you look at you just look in our lifetime, the how cars used to last for 20, 30, 40 years. I drove by a lot today of classic cars, and there were some cars in there that are moving on 50 years old now, and they're still able to crank up and run. And yet we have like cars that are 5 years old that are falling apart. Bumpers are coming off of them, and so
Yeah.
it's I think the de-evolution of humanity is even speeding up, and what happens with AI starts doing all the thinking for everybody.
Oh, what
And,
could possibly go wrong?
Oh,
Come on.
I
It's
think
gonna be
AI is
great.
going to make it stupider. Absolutely.
Well,
Huh?
I mean, high effort antediluvian shitpost. Oh, that's a good one. That's clever.
There you go.
Amazing Nazca man there. Good
Oh,
one.
Again, to bring this back to comic books, what if we made a superhero or a supervillain or whatever you want that could channel like the powers of a spider as long as that Nazca line was there? So these are just, so you could channel a heron and fly or whatever. Who knows what you channel when you channel the astronaut, but or that tail. But as long as these are intact, they're totems that you could use for like the powers of
Maybe the guy tattoos the totems on his body or something.
No, it's there on the earth, and
Right.
as long as like Greenpeace doesn't come and destroy it, I could switch on to spider powers or monkey powers or heron powers or astronaut powers.
I have nothing to do. I have no idea what he's talking about there. Now there was a Apocalypto, which was the movie by Mel Gibson having to
Heard of
do
that. I've not seen that.
yeah
I've
having
heard
to do
of
with a South American trying to survive. Um,
it. I think that's on Tubi. I think it's on Tubi, that Apocalypse.
yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure. Look down on the ground. It's a birds of plane. It's a Nazca line. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do our vote. We have. Sorry. Oh, it's NASCAR, not Nazca.
Oh
Easy
yeah, these were difficult racetracks, and that's why they all
That's
went.
what it is.
They were all crashing on these extreme curves. These cars couldn't make it. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to ride on that racetrack. Maybe the one all the way on the left. Maybe that would be fun, but some of those would be just like, yeah, I know. All right. Okay, so let's do our voting time. So let me check my. If you haven't voted on my website on my channels, I've got the horizontal and the vertical both have a poll in them. Let me check, see if anybody has voted over there. Okay. So on my my vertical one, I have a couple. I have one vote. Hold on. All right, I have 9 votes. Okay.
Wow.
I have one for debunked. Actually, that's 2 for debunked.
But what are we debunking? These exist, but like.
Well, it's are the alien in origin?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 2 for debunked, 1 for confirmed, and 6 for in the middle. Okay. So that's a lot of votes for in the middle there. So So 2 debunked, 1 confirmed, 3 in the middle. I'm going to end the poll right now on that one. So, all right, let me look at the one over here. So for my horizontal, it doesn't look like I don't have any votes over there. So, not surprising. Nobody watches the horizontal anymore. Okay, so we have 2 for confirmed that they are alien in origin. 1 for debunked, they are not alien in origin, and 6 for in the middle. Hold on a second. All right. They are real. Don't think there's enough for definitely alien. Okay. All right. NASCAR line. Yeah, you guys are geniuses. Okay. There's a no vote here, of course. No surprise there. So that's 2 for debunked, 2 for confirmed. Debunked, of course. Well, they are real. I don't think they're enough for definitely alien. Okay, so that's a debunked. So that's 3 debunked, 2 confirmed. They're clearly drawn by Wonder Woman. Okay. Aliens would have invented paper before they made spaceships. Okay. And Wookiee horizontal
probably.
watcher here. Okay. Well, unfortunately, Wookiee's not around for me to check his polls. So unless Wookiee's created polls, I'll just have to take your votes live. So, okay. I believe that's 3 for debunked and 2 for confirmed, 6 for in the middle. And so I'm going to have to say myself that I don't think aliens created them. But I think they created these people created these for a reason. And I can't completely rule out alien, that they were trying to impress somebody that can see them. And so I'm going to have to go with it. I'm going to have to go with aliens. That's a possibility. So I'm going to have to go in the middle. So that'll be 7 in the middle. What do you think, Krill?
Well, I'm not convinced it's aliens.
Okay.
I would say that it's probably more in line with deities, their gods or whatever. So I would consider that to be aliens. So I'm just going to go debunked, I believe, on this.
Okay. So that's 4 for debunked. Okay.
Yeah.
I might switch over to debunked. Like, that's pretty good description. That's pretty good explanation. I think I'm going to switch over to debunked.
Deities, not necessarily the same as aliens. So
there'll be 5 for debunked then. I moved my vote. So 7 for in the middle. So right now we got 5 at debunked and 2 for confirmed. Okay. So what are you thinking, John?
I think it's some sort of divine worship. It's
okay.
Not aliens,
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a debunked. So that'll be okay. So that's 6-6. So that's 6 in the middle, 6 for confirmed, 2 for confirmed, and 6 for debunked.
Can we get 4 more confirmed so we can get 666?
Oh, please, no.
No, we're already messing with deities here. We
probably
shouldn't be messing that much anymore. Can't trust anyone who puts a shoe on the spider. Perhaps they were created by illegal aliens. Oh, okay. All right.
Where would they have gotten deported to? Where do you port South America?
Yeah, they come from South America. Wherever they be from.
Did we do things in reverse in the ancient times? Maybe
maybe those pesky tribes from up north in North America were invading. I don't know. So anyway, Ty goes to the panel. Even though it's a tie, we always in case of a tie, we always give it to whatever the panel decides. Yeah. So Ty goes to the panel. We're going to declare this one debunked.
I mean, just to be clear, these exist. These were built. We just don't think
yeah,
they had
yeah.
anything to do with aliens.
Nah.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's more likely some sort of worship.
Mhm.
Probably.
Well, I do think it's. I think they are trying to appeal to something that they think can see it.
Right.
So a sky deity, I guess. Deities. We always assume that deities are in the air above us somewhere. They're high above us. So
Yeah.
Some
I mean,
deity that really likes monkeys.
there you go. There you go. Well, Chile has been deporting illegal aliens to their country, from what I heard. Yeah, there you go. I think they stopped this when there's somebody invited to the B-row. I think B-row is a pin, by the way.
Yeah.
Biro. I think. That's a pin. I do know that a little bit. All right. So anyway, so okay. So our looks like while we think they're pretty incredible, and we think that it's almost supernatural the way that they managed to create them, not outside the realm of humanity, but pretty incredible. Active, I guess, engineering to
Right.
create something that large that you can't really see the shape of. And so, yeah. So that's we think no, the whole alien thing is pretty debunked. So deity likes monkeys, so they're built for Hanuman. I'm assuming it's a good credit the wonders of the human spirit. Yeah.
I'm with you, Time Prophet. You know, we and also I find that a lot of this stuff, this cool conspiracy stuff, a lot of people, they don't know, so therefore I'm going to jump to the craziest. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh, I don't know how the pyramids were built, so therefore it was aliens. Like, I don't know how the Nazca lines were built, so therefore it was aliens. Like, you don't jump to aliens until everything has been, Occam's razor. You know what I mean? Like, was it because look at the stuff that we've done in recorded history for worship?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, you look at some of the like the cathedral or church that's like completely carved out of the rock.
Yeah.
In Petra.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean that's somebody did that probably around the time that this was done. And we're talking about people who are able to just basically carve buildings out of the sheer rock face and inhabitable buildings so they're still standing. So, the wonders of human engineering back then were, I honestly think it just puts the whole evolutionary theory to bed, to think that, mankind was capable of wonders like this back before computers, before ability to fly, or before any of that. And so this is just another example.
The one thing about evolution is you would think that we would evolve further, not just suddenly stop.
Right.
Well, I mean, I know I'm the only one here that's, is pro evolution, but like we're talking 6,000 years of recorded history in all of 4 million years of human history. You know what I mean? We don't know 100,000 years ago how different we were. I postulate that if I was to time travel us 20,000 years ago, forget about the disease and stuff like that, because we would either die or kill them. I bet you we wouldn't even recognize some of these people as our same species. So I mean, and did we stop evolving right now? Well, we're not killing off the weak. It's right. It's the Darwinian is the one that's most susceptible to change. Well, I don't believe it. Like Iceland is killing off all the Down syndrome people. So we cured Down syndrome, killing off, aborting.
Well, the people that where there's abortion,
right?
That's abortion in cultures. They're killing off their Down syndrome. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. But the people that are born, it's like, again, like there's no evolutionary valve to you're born with, no legs. You could still live a whole life because of our compassion, because of our resources. Dumb people are making 20 kids and smart people are waiting and waiting. So I do think if this continues, we will have a Morlocks and Eloy society in the future. I also think that humanity is the elites are pretty cruel, and that's what they're engineering us towards is, I mean, is it any wonder that the highest IQ societies are being invaded by the lowest IQ people? They're trying to, artificially engineer us to be stupider, so easier to control. There's a conspiracy for you.
There you go. I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think it's pretty live action.
It's on this show. It's confirmed as soon as we hit.
What's what happens to Hungary in the next 12 months, and get back to me.
Oh yeah, I'm on your side.
I think Marvel movies are rotting our brains. Okay, I got you.
What's a brain?
So okay, that's a pretty good discussion, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I think we covered a lot of the ground. I think we dotted every I, crossed every T. But thank you all for coming. We had a really great, active chat tonight.
Before we go, do we know what the next one's going to be? Do we do like what I do on Clobbering Time and we pick it now, or I'm sorry, but I haven't.
Well, we can definitely we speculate now. The topic I was thinking about is the Vatican evil?
Okay, that's a good one. I was going to say, how about Nibiru, the planet that causes mass extinctions?
Is the Vatican evil? I like the sound of this already.
Okay. All righty. So a week after next, we will. That's to do. Is the Vatican evil? So. And sorry in advance to any of our Catholic watchers right now. But on here, we just ask the question. We look at the evidence and we come up with a conclusion. Vatican is definitely evil by Time Prophet. He's already.
Hang on a second. Are we going to be in agreement with Time Prophet again?
Well, anything that's negative towards anything remotely resembling Christianity, he's gonna be, he's going to be an automatic rubber stamp. So,
yeah,
it is what it is. So, but we're not talking about Christianity. We're talking about the Vatican.
That's true enough. Yeah, that's true enough.
There you go. Anyway, as an organization, is the Vatican evil? And that's not necessarily synonymous with Christianity. To me, it isn't. We can have that debate next time. All right. Thank you all for coming. We will see you guys a week after next with that particular topic, and maybe we'll have Wookie back. Maybe we'll have Abby back. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Just depends on if Wookie's wife lets him. We'll find out. Anyway, had to get a shot in. Anyway.
We never did. We haven't really taken the piss out of him.
We haven't really taken the piss out of him today. We've been good. So, anyway.
We've been good. Yeah.
Anyway.
Bye, everyone.